Today we're tackling something so many people grapple with, that really frustrating pull towards emotionally unavailable partners. We're looking at material on neurotypical folks and how early life stuff can set us up for these patterns.
Okay, let's unpack this because the real mission here is figuring out why inconsistency and distance can actually feel like intense chemistry instead of the huge warning sign it often is.
Exactly. And it's crucial to get this. It's not a character flaw. It's really a learned response. Your nervous system learned it, often way back because of things like neglect or maybe just really inconsistent care.
So childhood stuff basically wires you to expect unpredictability.
Pretty much. If connection felt chaotic growing up, sometimes there, sometimes gone, your brain basically tags unpredictability as familiar. And then as an adult, that familiarity gets misinterpreted by the nervous system. It feels like, well, maybe even like safety.
Wow. Okay. So that tension, that maybe anxiety we feel, gets mistaken for compatibility.
Yeah.
You feel that intensity and think, this must be it. This connection is deep. But really, your body's just recognizing an old familiar pattern of uncertainty.
Right. It's chasing the known, not necessarily the healthy.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's get into the mechanics. What are the psychological frameworks really driving this? It sounds like attachment theory is key here.
Absolutely. The anxious avoidant dance is a big one. So someone with an anxious attachment style, maybe from that inconsistent care we talked about, they often feel this magnetic pull towards avoidant partners.
The ones who pull away.
Exactly. And the pursuit itself, trying so hard to get that connection, to get them to commit or respond consistently, that becomes the ingrained behavior. Subconsciously, you're trying to finally win or earn the steady love you didn't get back then.
Okay, and that ties into intermittent reinforcement, right? Like a slot machine.
That's a perfect analogy. When affection or attention comes in these random, unpredictable bursts, boom, your nervous system gets highly activated. That physiological jolt, the anxiety of waiting, then the relief when they do connect it, feels incredibly intense.
And we mistake that intensity for
deep compatibility, for the spark, when it's actually just the biochemical roller coaster of unpredictable rewards.
Which leads right into this idea of repetition compulsion. The source material mentions this. It's like we unconsciously seek out situations that feel like the original wound.
That's the gist of it, yeah. You pick partners or scenarios that mirror that early emotional deprivation. There's this hidden unconscious hope that this time you can make it turn out differently.
Like trying to fix the past by replaying it in the present. Wow.
It's a powerful, often unconscious drive.
Okay. So we see the pattern, the compulsive chase. How do we start, breaking free? It sounds like it starts with changing the internal story.
Absolutely. Compassionate reframing is step one. You have to shift from something's wrong with me or I'm broken to something like, okay, my nervous system learned that closeness feels unpredictable.
That takes the shame out of it.
It does. It lets you observe the pattern without judgment, which is critical for change.
And then we can move into practical skills. The material highlights 2 earned security skills. First up, boundaried bidding.
Yes. This is about getting specific, moving away from vague appeals like you're never available.
Right.
And towards clear, specific, time-bound requests. For example, hey, could we find 15 minutes after dinner tonight just to connect about our days?
It's about learning to ask clearly for what you need.
And owning your agency in seeking connection. The second skill is reality testing.
Okay, what's that involve?
It's about actively fighting that old confirmation bias. You keep, maybe just for yourself, a kind of objective log. Note down when you make a bid for connection and what the actual response was, just the facts.
So you can challenge those old stories, like, my needs are too much, or they don't really care.
Exactly. You use the data, the reality, to actively correct those ingrained, often trauma-driven narratives.
That makes sense.
And look, for people with deeper wounds from early adversity, we should mention trauma-focused therapy. Things like EMDR can be really helpful.
How does that work, briefly?
It helps your brain process those old, stuck memories and desensitize the emotional charge tied to them. It can dissolve that underlying compulsion to keep repeating the wound.
So pulling this all together, disrupting these patterns isn't about blaming yourself. It's about Active awareness and taking agency.
It really is. It's about consciously retraining your nervous system about what safety actually feels like.
Which leads to a really important warning you mentioned from the sources.
Yes, be prepared. Secure connection often feels quiet, calm, maybe even initially a bit boring compared to the drama and highs of intermittent reinforcement.
So that old intensity isn't the goal.
Not at all. You
Right.
have to give consistency time. Give those calm, steady signals weeks, months maybe, for your nervous system to recalibrate and register that, yes, this is actually safety. Don't bolt just because it doesn't feel like a chaotic roller coaster.
That's crucial. Okay, so final thought for everyone listening. If the goal shifts away from trying to fix the past through a partner and towards building a future based on consistent mutual care,
Mhm.
what's one specific non-negotiable secure behavior you need to start prioritizing, maybe even tracking, in your connections starting today? Something to really think about.
If you are in a neurodiverse marriage where one spouse is autistic and the other one is not, and you've been struggling for years and years, and you're kind of sick and tired of the routine, talk to me. Use me as your personal coach. I have groups, and I keep these groups small so that you can get a lot of one-on-one attention. I have 3 Q&A groups, one for ASD husbands, one for neurotypical wives, and I have a couples group where both spouses can attend. I also have 2 instructional groups, Cassandra Syndrome Recovery Group, to help you cultivate some strategies to recover from years of emotional deprivation, and the Men's Masterclass, in which we take a deep dive on developing social skills and emotional literacy in the context of the neurodiverse marriage. We meet 1 hour a week for 4 weeks. So how much longer are you willing to wait?